Hello everybody, we are back. We are back on this Friday. We're here for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Once again in Season 11, it is round number 10. The rounds are counting down to the season finale. I believe there's 12 rounds in the calendar, so not long to go at the Las Vegas Strip Circuit. A distance of 3.8 miles, 17 corners, 2 DRS zones. I'm expecting a lot of overtaking, especially down that back straight. It is long, it is rapid, and I'm sure we will see some overtaking moves going into there. Let's cut to the action. We've missed 3 minutes, but that's fine. That's me being unprepared. That's me being late, if you want to call it that. But it's fine. We are here, and that is what matters. We are here eventually. Let me set up right. I've got a few. I just need to. Right, lap times are coming in. Jack goes to the top, 1:31.4. I say this every week. I do not know what the best time is, or what the optimal time should be, but hey, we'll see. Who is coming round for a lap on the Yak text is coming round. P3, 7/10 down. Rob goes P4, and here comes a Haas. It is Ollie Hornby racing here for the first time, and he crosses the line, goes top by 0.6 of a second, so clears the field to start with very early on in this qualifying session. In the USA livery on that Haas, it's quite fitting because we are in the USA, so I guess it's a wrong track, but we're still American, so it's absolutely fine. Senor is starting a lap. So is Jeremy. He can win the championship this weekend, like last weekend. But this weekend, there's just more chance he's going to do so. Pinky comes into the pits, and Joaz will cross the line. Edwin goes third. Joaz goes quickest with a 1:38. So immediately to the top of the timesheets. It is still only provisional. Tatos goes even quicker, and that was why it's provisional, was because he's back down into second place. Not that he was there anyway. A 1:30.6 is the new fastest lap. Jamie Dodger goes P4, 4/10 down in the very stunning white Red Bull. Only 16 cars on the grid today, which is okay. It's so yeah, Senor invalidated his lap time. So Jeremy will be the next one to cross the line, as far as I'm aware. The people that haven't done a lap already. Here comes the Ferrari. Round the final corner. P5 is the time, and normally we see Jeremy higher up, so maybe he's got time to give, or maybe we simply are seeing Jeremy not have the best of times, but it's very early to tell. It's very early to tell. It's a bit less action going on when there's 16 cars on the grid. 4 cars makes a difference. I guess it's 5 because Bobby has retired. For what I don't know, I believe he was retired when I joined. RB Rob comes into the pit lane. People are leaving the pit lane again. Phantom being one of them. He is out early, although he hasn't set a lap time yet. I don't know if he's been out. Yeah, so this is his first time out. He should still get 2 runs in. Don't see why he wouldn't. 10 minutes left, plenty of time. Bob has a quali ban. Okay, that is why he's retired. That makes sense. Thank you, Mr. Jammy Dodger. So, yeah. That does make sense. So Bobby will start P16, serving a qualifying ban. I guess for him, it's good. There are only 16 drivers on the grid, that 4 are disappearing. So here comes Phantom around the final braking zone of the lap to start his flying lap. Not yet. In a bit more time. It's quite a long run up to the line here. But he finally reaches the line to start his lap. Let's ride on board with the Haas driver, turn 1. Okay, looks okay. Turn 2, is he flat? I think so. Hard to tell without the telemetry. Telemetry, oh my god. Cannot speak. Let's enable the telemetry for this lap. Sector 1 split coming up. 26.3. I don't know what everyone else's Sector 1 split was, so I cannot compare it. But it said purple on the bottom left, bottom right. Although that is normally wrong. Everyone has a purple sector for some reason. I think it compares it to your best overall lap time for some reason. I don't quite know. All I know is that most of the time it is wrong. Oh, a bit of a lock up there. Maybe a bit deeper than he would have wanted to go. Just missing the apex, 56.4. Through sector 2. Down this very long straight. He's burning that battery like hell. Has he saved it up purely for this straight? Again, it's a thing that I haven't been watching. Here he comes up to the line. Doesn't look like it's going to be quickest, but it looks like it could be a competitive lap time. P9, that's all right, 1 second down. So maybe he would have hoped for a bit more, but, you know, that's why we have a second run of lap times. And I'm sure he will be able to get to that soon. Ollie clears the field by 4 tenths of 130.2. Not too bad. Well, I say not too bad. That is actually quite good, I think. I think if you get sub 130, that is... I don't think anyone's beating that. I don't think anyone's going to get that. I'll be honest. 3 tenths is still quite the improvement, but there's always time to gain. So you never know. You never know. Everyone's on their lap now, apart from Jeremy, who is camping in the pit lane. I don't blame him. Great lap from the Haas. Can the likes of Tatos or Joaz reclaim their place at the top of the timing beam? Joaz will have to gain 6 tenths on his previous lap time if he wants to, which is a lot of time to gain. Going over the curb there, but, you know, that was fine. He is down on his lap time before, so maybe we could see him straight up pit. If he doesn't have any improvement, there's no point continuing to the line, but there's still 3-4 corners to go. But if you're going to gain any time, it's these corners because you actually have to... I don't need to explain. It's quite obvious if you ask me. Up to the line now. Where can he put his car? It is an improvement, a small improvement. Still 5 tenths off the pace. He stays in P3. What about Tatos? He's slightly up. So these are marginal improvements now. Yeah, a 1 tenth improvement. So that gets him closer, but not close enough. Still 3 tenths to improve on if he wanted to get onto the top spot. Jamie Dodger improves again by 2 tenths. So does Edwin. He crosses the line, goes up into P6. It's a good showing from him so far. Pinky comes into the pit lane. He's 2 seconds down. So you'd assume maybe 1 lap to go for some of these people. Senor will probably come into the pits on gap text. Yeah, we'll come into the pits. Wojtek, they've all invalidated their lap time. Apart from Phantom, has he pitted or is he just straight up going again? I think he's going for 2 consecutive runs here. He's fueled up on the same set of softs, I believe. He's going for another run. Yeah. So this is his second run on these set of softs. Whoa. Oh, he does pit. Obviously didn't fancy going for that. Other cars coming into the pit lane now. Joaz and Tatos, P2 and 3 currently. It's not unrealistic to look at the top spot, but they do need to find quite a lot of time. So maybe it is. Jamie Dodger will come into the pit lane. So will Edwin, I assume. He's invalidated his lap. Why would you not? That would be stupid. Some people coming in, some people coming out. Constant action is what we like to see. It might not necessarily be everyone crossing the line at the same time, but at least there's cars on track pretty much all the time. Hyrox has joined, so it looks like we have a latecomer. 17 cars on the grid. He will start probably from last. I don't know if he overtakes Bobby if he joins now. That would be quite interesting if he did. I guess if he joins and doesn't retire, he could take P16. Bobby will drop to P17, but we'll have to wait and find out. RB Rob across the first sector split. 4/10 up through the first sector. So if he can keep that up throughout the lap, he will be looking for over a 1 second improvement, which could lift him a few places up the timing tower and potentially get him the starting spot that he would prefer. Yeah, Hyrox has joined and is ahead of Bobby, so he might not get a lap in. He might just squeeze one if he hurries up. But I do heavily doubt it. Here's Rob. DRS open. How much ERS has he got? About 20%. He's not burning it. You see some people burn here. You see some people use their battery at other points in the lap. And he's gone over that inside curve very aggressively there, which has invalidated his lap time. So I assume he's just going to have to go for it again. He's got no choice but to go for it again. Here's your current provisional pole sitter. Ollie starts his lap. And can he see through? Time to put himself at the top of the timing beam. It looks like, though, he's missing a front wing end plate. How does that happen? So if he gets a pole or improves his time, he's done it with, without a right front wing end plate. Sector 1 split, 1.5 tenths down, which makes sense when you're missing a crucial element of your front wing. So maybe this lap will not be his lap. but he will be able to rely on his last lap, as it is pretty quick, if you ask me. Tatos has got a lot to do then if he wants to improve. So we'll go back to Rob, who's invalidated his lap time again. That crucial mistake down at the bottom of this straight has cost him quite dearly. I think he was up by a decent amount. Who else is in the Haas that I've missed? Oh, of course, it's Ollie. And I believe he will be next across the line. He's not doing bad, actually. Only a 10th down. So even though he's missing a front wing end plate, he could find himself an improvement here. 0.08 of a second is all he needs to find. And no, he doesn't find it. He does gain time through both the second and third sector, though. I'm sure he'll be pretty pleased with that. Arctag goes 5th. How long can he stay there for? Cybanix stays P9 on Giactex. He comes into the pit lane. Jack has invalidated his lap time. His Wojtek. Where can he go? He stays P12. It is an improvement. Phantom improves up to P6. Nearly a second down on his lap time. Ollie's lap time, sorry. Tatos goes so close. It's not close enough. 7/100ths of a second down. Joaz has improved. Not enough. 4.5 tenths down still. So, still quite a big gap. Tatos and Ollie, that's who it really is between. Here's Edwin. I believe I've missed Jammy Dodger go P3rd. P3. He's overtaken Joaz. Edwin goes 6th within a second. Here's Pinky. Proves by 1.4 seconds, did that say? He's either... Yeah, he did. P5. Fair play. That is a good lap from the V-Carb. Right at the death there. And this is your order for... I thought it said sprint qualifying earlier, but it didn't. It's short qualifying. Ollie is on pole. Tatos in P2. Very close. Not close enough. Jammy 3rd, Joaz 4th, and Pinky closes the top 5. Some people doing multiple runs, some people doing up to 3. Depends what you want to do with the tyres in the race. Are you going to utilise those softs that you haven't used in qualifying, or do you use 3 because you're just not going to use softs in the race? I have a feeling they're not going to use softs. Most of the time they don't, actually. So yeah, Ollie crashed into the wall before his lap, which, you know, that's his choice. Can't stop him. If he wants to do that, that's his choice. But it's still quite a respectable lap from him, actually. To still be within a 10th of his other lap time, I'm sure we would have seen quite the improvement if he hadn't crashed into the wall beforehand. And it was nearly punished, that mistake on the outlap. Tatos nearly took it away from him. But to the Haas's relief, Tatos just fell just short. Quite a tense way. When's everyone going to ready up? Feels longer than it should be. I keep thinking it's 30 seconds. But it feels much longer than 30 seconds. Or did it? I don't know. All I know, though, is the 5 red lights are on. And it's lights out. And away we go. Ollie maybe didn't get the best of starts. Tatos is right alongside him. And into the lead. Tatos goes. There's a lot of ghosting here. Whoa. But Ollie has the inside to turn 3. Can he utilise it? No, he cannot. Phantom's left the session. And Senor apparently is in the lead. This happened last race. It did fix itself eventually, though. I think we just need to cross the line at the end of lap 1. But it's a great start from Tatos. That's exactly what he would have wanted. And he's in the lead. There is a crash. And it's at the back. Pinky has probably gone into the wall. I don't know how. There is a safety car, though. Senor has gone back down to P15. That is good. No restart or anything is needed. And Tatos is correctly in the lead on Yak Text. 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. What's that about? He will not be happy about that. But as I said, it's a great start from Tatos, and that safety car potentially relieving some early pressure that Ollie would have put on him. So Ollie in P2, Jamie and Joaz still P3-4. Phantom has joined back. The safety car probably has saved Phantom as well. So maybe one Haas has liked the safety car, one Haas maybe didn't so much. So Pinky is out. I didn't see it. I was focusing on the front, which I probably do too often. Senor and Phantom having a fight back here. What's this all about? Under the safety car. And Senor is coming into the pits. That's why he was trying to speed ahead. Oh, on Gactex, what are you doing? Senor's just crashed into the inside wall. Edwin, I believe, has also come into the pits. But these aren't necessarily front wing changes. These actually look strategical. So originally, I thought these were for front wing damage. But, oh, hello! What are you doing? How have you done that under the safety car? You can't have done that on your own. So Hyrox crashing under the safety car. He's lost a part of his front wing. So he will need to pit at the end of this lap. Under the safety car. That's the one thing that he can be happy about. So Hyrox come into the pit lane. Who has pitted? Why am I looking there? I can just look here. 12th or 16th. Variety. So everyone started on the mediums. Hyrox does come into the pit lane. Change this to penalties for future reference. So Tatos in the lead then on the mediums. Ollie behind him is on the mediums. I think everyone who hasn't pitted is on the mediums. So it's the top 10 who actually haven't pitted. And most people that have pitted have just gone on to the hards. I don't know if Rob started on the hards. Yes, Rob was the only one that started on hards. Unless he had damage, I don't see why he's pitted. Surely you'd stay out on the hards. Most people have stayed out on the mediums. I'm not a strategist. That's what they're called? I don't know what they're called. Strategist? That doesn't seem like a word. It's a word. Someone please tell me if that's a word. discussion in chat if hards go to the end. People are potentially saying they can. And that will be interesting. I mean, there is safety cars coming in this lap, providing they don't really wear them under safety car. They've got, what, 22 laps? 21 laps to do on a pair of hard tyres? Doesn't sound unreasonable if you ask me. But that is a topic for the end of the race and to see if their tyres pop or not. Tatos will have other things on his mind. How does he keep Ollie behind him? And it's by going now. The Aston Martin has gone and he looks to have a reasonable gap over the Haas as he crosses the line. It's a gap that makes him safe going into turn 1. What else is going on? Not much really. Quite sensible coming through turn 1. Phantom, I saw you. Bit of a moment with his rear end there, but he won't care because he's going to gain a position down at the end of the straight. No DRS needed. Wojtek went a bit deep through that corner, and the Haas has capitalised. He's slowly regaining his positions. That is AI lost for him. Bobby's already up into P8, probably helped by people pitting. And it's Tatos still in the lead. And he looks pretty comfortable, 4/10. It'll be when DRS is involved where he has no chance. I'm sorry to say that, but here there's no point defending a position when the person behind you has DRS, especially when they're only 3/10 behind. Jammy's looking pretty close as well, though. He's not falling back. He's keeping his eye in there. Why it still says there's a yellow flag, I don't know. That is a bug still from F124. Here is Jack Death. Past Edwin. Looks like he is. Edwin's burning his battery. He's going to fight back on the inside. Small bit of contact. It's not the contact that makes anyone spin, which is a good thing. We don't mind it. And Jack is up into P11. Ollie, look how close he is to Tatos. He got the fastest lap of the race that time around on the restart. And as we go on to lap 5, Ollie is already there. DRS is enabled. It's enabled just after 1 lap. And look at this. Is he going to go for it now? He isn't. He's going to wait until later. Look at this. Cybanix being overtaken by Bobby, who is up into P7. So he's gained 10 places since the start of the race in 5 laps. That's pretty good if you ask me. RB Rob is past Senor. I assume has made a mistake to be that far back. But these guys are coming towards the straight, and that is when it'll potentially start to... Look how close Ollie is. He is ready to just overtake the Aston Martin. It's not a question. I'm going to look like a right plum if he doesn't overtake Tatos here. But I am certain he will. There's no way he doesn't. Please, for my sake. There we go. I'm not even going to say he's on the inside because he's just absolutely zoomed past him before the corner is anywhere near the side. Oh, Bobby's on the inside! And spins. That was an aggressive move from the Mercedes. I think he was originally going for Arctag, I think it was. He broke just too late and went into the side of Jeremy. Jeremy survives, and he obviously keeps a position. Maybe a rough move from Bobby, who will now have Wojtek behind him. No, he doesn't. Maybe he does. He will have Wojtek behind him now because he's overtaken Jack, and that was maybe an aggressive move from Bobby, braking just a bit too late down into turn... I don't know. What can Jack do? Oh, he went for the inside, but Wojtek, that was clever. Just literally held him off. It looks like Jack has a lot more pace here. Over the inside of this corner here. I need to learn corner numbers. It'll make the race much more interesting, I assume. Tatos is already out of DRS for Ollie, so Tatos could find himself in P3 in a minute. We're going to keep an eye, though, on this battle because there are 5 cars. Oh! And Jack has just taken out Wojtek. Saw a gap on the inside, Fair enough. Do you go for a move there, though? That is a question to be considered. And Wojtek is now down into last place. That was actually quite funny to watch. There's Jack on the inside, has to cut the corner, gets a 3-second time penalty. This is mad. He now goes down to 14th, but Rob nearly spins into the wall and says, no worries, have my place instead. Crazy couple of corners there. Wojtek will not be happy. He's coming into the pit lane to retire, potentially. Nothing looks wrong with his car. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that is a race-ending move there from Jack on Wojtek. Crazy stuff. Ollie's in the lead. Tatos is back within his DRS. So he's still got reason to look behind. Jammy Dodger isn't falling back. He's saying, no, you ain't going anywhere, you two. This time a lap ago at this corner, it all was chaos. Jack, that was a funny move. I shouldn't laugh at it, but I thought that was quite amusing. When you're in the car, it isn't. When you're the person who's been spun, it's infuriating. Here's Tatos on the inside of Ollie. Gets the move done. And he's up into the lead. Bobby, what is going on? I need to keep an eye on these guys. Bobby's up into P7. Arctag is down to 9th. Is he fighting Cybanix? Or is he coming into the pits? He's coming into the pits. Is it for... Yeah, he's missing a front wing end plate. On the left-hand side, I assume that's from contacting another car or being pushed into the wall. I don't think he's driven straight into a wall looking at the people he was around. Wojtek said he turned left into a left-hander, which is valid. And then, even though it was on a straight, he kept turning left. Was that because Jack was making him turn left, or was he just still turning left for no reason? That is something to be considered. Here is Ollie. Can he get revenge on Tatos? Looks like he may be able to. Very close he is, 0.2, 1/10. And Ollie has returned the favour, if you want to call it that. Isn't really a favour getting overtaken. But he's back into the lead, is Ollie, and all Tatos needs to do is just hang on in there within that 1 second, and he's good to go. Jeremy overtakes Joaz. The McLaren is down into P5. Not the game, not the race Pinky would have wanted. He started P5. Remember, what a qualifying lap he put in. Just, I think, was he one of the early pitters? He was. Oh no, no, he wasn't. So he naturally found himself down with the people who, I'm not going to say like to crash, because that's just a bit rude. The crazy people. The people giving a good go at each other, which I think is perfectly reasonable. Got every right to fight. What has RB Rob done? He has spun. Feels quite recent when I last said that. I don't know if I'm just about... I thought he spun again then. That would have been the peak of embarrassing. Jammy, yeah. I mean, Jammy hasn't got a chance. As long as Tatos also has DRS. Tatos... Yeah, I don't think we'll get overtaken. Jammy, I see him playing an undercut. Because as long as Ollie and Tatos are just swapping positions, I think he's just gonna, unless there's a huge fight where it's side by side through a corner, then maybe he can capitalise. But I don't see that happening. I think it's just a straight up overtake on a straight. I don't think, unless Jammy is really close to whoever's in P1, I just don't see it happening. Ollie overtakes Phantom into turn, I assume, 4. I think it's turn 4. Although there are quite a lot of non-corners that are cornered. I think that little dink left on the straight is cornered. I'm sorry, it's just not a corner. So Tatos will have DRS. Watch the gap between Hyrox and Cybanics down here as well, especially if it doesn't look like there's a move. Down here, Tatos is gaining actually. He's going to look for the outside of Ollie. And yeah, he'll get the move done. Joaz has overtaken Jeremy. I missed that. Here is Hyrox. Can he make a move on Cybanics? Edwin's made one on Gak Text. It's going to be an actual fight. It's going to be on the outside here. Cybanics on the inside. Tatos has sped in the pit lane. That is disastrous. That is awful news. The Aston Martin, and that was pretty much probably ruined his race. I don't like to say that, but 10 seconds is a lot, especially when you're battling the likes of Ollie and he's right behind you. Look at that. They've got Edwin to contend with, who's missing part of his front wing, but he's not giving a huge fight to these two. I think he knows that these two are just going to zoom ahead. Jack and Jammy also passed Edwin. Edwin is losing the position. Left, right and centre. Looked like Jammy was going into the back of Ollie there. At least it did for me. I don't think it did, actually, looking back at it. But, you know, Ollie is safe. And technically, he's 9 seconds, 9.5 seconds ahead of Tatos. If you want to look at it like that, with the penalty. So, it's Ollie's race to lose. He's got to play it carefully. There's no point fighting unnecessarily. The only way Tatos can get back in this is if there's a safety car. Can you serve it under a safety car? I don't know. It's a question for later, if there is one. Here is Ollie. On the inside, DRS is open. And he's passed the Aston Martin. Is it race over for Tatos? Not race over. You know what I mean? Race for the lead. Is that over? I almost feel like saying to Tatos, probably can't hear me, let Jammy through, because it'll give me a bit of entertainment. But I don't think Tatos is going anywhere. He's just going to fight. What's the reason not to? Got nothing to lose now. Well, look at this from Jammy. If you're Ollie, realistically, you want to get out of Tatos' DRS. Because there is no point fighting someone who's on the 10-second time penalty. Seven tenths is the gap. 8 tenths is the gap. It's going up. Phantom looks to be passed on Gaktex. Joaz looks to be past Jack. Edwin in this fight, who still is without front wing end plate. Here is Bobby Lyons, who has passed the Red Bull. Long before we got to the corner, here's Jammy. Is he looking for a move? I think maybe a sneak peek of what could be on the inside, but he's not getting a real taste of what is there yet. When can he? That's the question. 2/10. It's a shame DRS isn't down here. Bobby Lyons is past Jack now. Ollie with the fastest lap of the race. He's got to divert past Hyrox, in which he does. Tatos also does. And this doesn't look great for Jamie on Gactex to spun round. We've seen a lot of that today, and it's a lot around these long corners. There is a lot of long corners, it seems, around this track. Hyrox then has been overtaken by Jamie, so these three have been left to fight as they were. It is business as usual for these three. Jeremy hasn't pitted yet. He is in the lead. Before anyone gets excited that he is in the lead, he hasn't stopped. He's the only person to have not stopped. He's done 12 laps on those mediums. I'm not going to pretend like that's good or bad, because I have no clue what his wear could be on right now. Bobby Lyons is past Joaz. McLaren just keeps going down and down, it seems. Which isn't great, but Bobby putting in a good shift here. Started P17, as I've said previously. So, yeah, really good from him to be up into P6. I think the safety car and stuff has helped. People getting damaged, people crashing. I'm always missing overtakes. Oh, that's because he's pitted. So Jamie is close. He has just been so close to Tatos for the whole race. And he's just not been able to make a move. And if I was Jamie, I would be so irritated. What is the point if you're just going to be there? You're a bystander at that point. You're just watching the game. You've got no control. You're just driving, hoping the two in front of you crash. Because realistically, he's not going to pit again. Neither of the two ahead, providing they don't get damage or there's not a safety car. I think even if there was a safety car, I don't see them pitting. He's just not gaining enough. Tatos is gaining on Ollie, but that is normal. Because Ollie doesn't have DRS. Jamie's just getting absolutely nowhere. And for me, I would be real irritated. Although he has set the fastest lap of the race, so 1:33.5, so he has got something to smile about. Hyrox has come into the pit lane. So maybe this is will provide him a bit of a boost. He is 5/10 off for but yeah, for as long as Tatos has DRS on Ollie. I mean, the thing is, if you're Jamie, it would be lovely to make an overtake. You've got to consider Tatos has a 10-second time penalty, which it was a speeding in the pit lane penalty, so it's not exactly going to get removed, I don't think. You know, it's a pretty slam dunk penalty. You've either sped or you've not. Ollie is close to Jeremy. Jeremy's got to pit at some point. I'm keeping an eye on the gap. Joaz to Bobby. That gap is closing. But look at this. Tatos is close. Is he going to make a move? No. But here's Joaz on the inside of Bobby. We could see it in the distance while looking at the front four. And he's made the move back up into P5. So the McLaren secures his spot in the top 5 again. I'm sure that will become top 4 when Jeremy eventually decides to pit. When that will be, though, I don't know. And it's giving Tatos a great opportunity here to try and get past Ollie. Jeremy is holding up the field But how much longer, Ollie? Yeah, gets him on the outside. And so is Tatos, but this time on the inside. Jammy's going for it as well. So 3 overtakes on the Ferrari. I think that's when you know your tyres are not dead, but getting towards dead for sure. Hello? So Jeremy, yeah, has got to pit at some point. Why would you not? Maybe he's praying for a late safety car or a VSC. But it starts to become a point where there's just no point waiting for it anymore. So, business as usual regarding the top 3. They're still the top 3 and they're still in the same order. Tatos isn't going without a fight though. He's got a 10-second penalty. He doesn't care. Is he going to make a move on the inside? Looks like he will. And Ollie isn't going to fight it. He's not got a huge reason to. There is a high chance he'll just re-overtake him anyway. But you really have to consider the 10-second penalty. I mean, you want to win it on track, but if you can't, sometimes it's just best to hang back and go, you know what? Let's do it the easy way. Edwin has crashed into a wall. Got a 10-second time penalty for exceeding crash limits. Well, he did crash, but for exceeding track limits, Phantom's received a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not what Edwin would have wanted. Where did he crash? I don't know. And look at Jeremy. The safety cars come out. And he comes into the pits. So, maybe his plan did work. P6, I think that's where he started. He started P9. Jeremy started 9th. So, as it stands as well, he's going to win the championship, I believe, in this position. So he's got no rush, really, to gain all the positions that he needs to gain. On the softs as well. So actually, Jeremy being... Right, let's look at the tyre situation. Jeremy is on new, fresh, softs. The top 5 are on used hards. Now, they haven't caught up to the safety car. I thought the safety car was ahead of them when it was called, but it wasn't. So technically, they still have the freedom of a free pit stop if they want to take it. If you Tatos, do you take it? I mean, you've got your 10-second penalty, you need to get rid of it, surely. Provided you can get rid of it under a safety car, surely you pit. Yes, you may be P5, P6, but surely you have to. Yeah, Tatos comes in the pit lane, everyone follows him. So, Tatos will probably go down to P3 here. Bobby's ahead of Joaz as well. I missed Joaz getting re-overtaken. So it'd be interesting to see what happens here with Tatos. He does manage to serve his penalty. Jammy will go by, say thank you very much. Bobby will go past. And, ooh, Tatos just gets past Joaz. Look at Jeremy. What's to say he can't win this? Up into P3. He's on new softs. Jammy's gone new hards. Ollie's gone new mediums. The top 3 have 3 different tyre choices with them on their car. This is far from over. Hello. Bit of late braking under the safety car. Mercedes 4 and 5, that's not too bad for the team. This front Tatos down to P6. Hyrox is P4. This is Joan's 7th. Okay. This has mixed things up a bit. So Edwin, I'll be honest, it just looked like he went straight into a wall. I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure he didn't. I'm not saying that. From what I saw, it just looked like, because that's quite a lot. You've got to go really wide into the corner, just crash that far down the corner. Again, I'm not saying anything, but I don't see how you can continue to carry that much speed into a corner and just... He'll probably try to defend himself soon. And I'm all ears for it, because I have no clue what happened. Bobby wants team orders on Hyrox. Driver telling another driver to move out the way. I don't think that's going to work, mate. Hyrox is sort of on new tyres as well. So, if I was Hyrox, I'd say no. Have it. Shove it up. No, I'm not going to say that here. Why should he move out of the way? I'd be interested to know that. Who is the Mercedes team principal? Surely it's their decision. He's not online, so he can't exactly make that decision. But, will Hyrox comply? That's a great question to be considered. It's Blackberry who's the team principal of Mercedes. So, yeah, we're not getting a response by the end of this race, I highly doubt. He didn't even involve his team principal, he just said team orders. Could mean anything, though. It doesn't necessarily mean out of the way. It could mean next round of pit stops, I'm going to pit before you. Or you pit before me. Team orders have many different meanings, so not quite clear on what he wants. I think Edwin wasn't looking at the track when he crashed. That's what it looks like. He said, I wasn't looking at the track. The straight is too long. It is a long straight. Just a complete lapse in concentration by the looks of it. Straight was so long, you zoned out, and before you know it, you're into the back of another car, which looks like what happened. Maybe that's why he just went straight on. Phantom's pit. It's a weird time to pit. Oh, he's got a 10-second penalty. Maybe it's not. That's nice. Okay, this clears things up for me. Edwin was looking at the mini-map when he's supposed to brake. That's not the best of plans going into a corner, to look at the mini-map going into a corner. So I said it just looked like he went straight on for no reason. That explains it. If you're not looking at your braking zone, of course you're going to go straight on. So that's 4 cars out the race. Jammy Dodgers left. Probably don't have him added, do I? I do. How nice is that? This restart has potential. This restart has potential. The 2 behind need to catch up. Safety car in this lap. Has Jammy joined? No, he's not. Jammy. He's gonna get himself in a bit of a jammy situation here. That exists. I think I mean sticky situation. Jam is quite sticky, so I guess it could mean the same thing. Ollie just needs to take advantage of it, though. It's happened at the worst time for Jammy. Is he back? He's back! This is good news for the Red Bull. He's back just in the nick of time for Ollie to go. And he's absolutely cleared the Red Bull. And look, Jeremy's immediately alongside Jammy. The two Mercedes are side by side. And Tatos is also going for it further back. He's on the outside of Hyrox. He doesn't get that move done. Joaz has zoomed past Tatos and Hyrox. He's back up into P5. Tatos, is he looking for a move on the inside? He makes his presence known to Hyrox. And does he make a move? No, he doesn't. There's a bit of contact. He has to stay in P7. Good racing from them, Bobby. That is definitely a warning for track limits. Trying to keep up with Jeremy, but look at this. Ollie is already 1.5 seconds ahead. He is clear of Jammy Dodger. Jeremy will want to take this as an opportunity. DRS will be enabled. When we come round to the finish line again, look at Bobby. He is close to the back of Jeremy. You kind of think Jeremy should be the one with the pace here. He's on the softs, but he is certainly not pulling away from anyone. Look at Joaz. He is right on the back of Bobby. This is an opportunity for 4th place. Inside, outside. What route are you going to take? He's going to take none because he doesn't have the opportunity to take either route. Tatos does though, and he's chosen the inside line. Pushes Hyrox maybe into the wall a bit, but, you know, Hyrox does lose another position to Arctag. He takes advantage. Ollie, 132.9. He is absolutely zooming. 2.2 seconds gained on Jammy on the restart lap. Safe to say it could be over. Don't want to speak too soon. Don't want to be the commentator's curse. But it looks like it is. Unless something wild happens. Bobby looks for a move. Doesn't get it. And it's in alphabetical order. As we go through. It's not an alphabetical corner. I just didn't know what else to say. One by one in a straight line. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, to be honest with you. So I'm going to shut up. P4 is Bobby. Don't know why I said that. He is very close to the back of Jeremy. But they all have DRS behind Jammy, so is there going to be a move? It's a great question. Everything's a great question, according to me, and I don't think I've ever said anything's a bad question. They're all flat out. Jammy's close. Or Jeremy's close to Jammy. Bobby looking at the outside momentarily on Jeremy. He is slipping at the back. Phantom is... Oh, hello, what's going on here? Phantom's been overtaken by literally everyone on Yak Text. We're going 3 wide as we cross the line. Phantom got overtaken twice. And he's just regained... Oh, what? That was close from Jack. But he does get the... Oh, hello. That looks like a brake check. I'm not going to lie. From Jack. He is up into... Well, no, down to P12, I should say. He's going for the inside. On Yak Text. He doesn't make the move. Joazza, Jeremy, what have I missed? Jeremy's down his P5. Bobby's up into the podium positions from starting 17th. Joaz is 4th. That is good for him and the McLaren team. Tatos. There's been a lot of change. He's got past Hyrox. He's absolutely clear of Hyrox. So he will be setting his sights ahead. Jeremy doesn't particularly have a lot of pace. As it stands, though, I believe he'll be world champion in Season 11. It's all he needs. So he won't care. As long as he's champion, he will be fine. Is Arctag on Arctag on Hyrox. 4P numero 7. Jack with a 3-second time penalty. He's up to 6. I think he's the only one that's actually had a track limit violation in this race. Jeremy has fallen back on the softs. They look like the wrong decision. I thought they were an outstanding decision. I wondered why no one else went for them, but maybe. The reason is clear. The evidence is there of why no one else picked the softs. Jammy hanging it out in P2. Bobby looks like a force to be reckoned with in P3. He's definitely eyeing up P number 1. Joaz, that was silly. I've got no other words for it. That was stupid. 3-second time penalty for Joaz, and that could see him potentially lose 2, 3, maybe 4 positions. He just needs Jeremy to hang back, but Tatos has overtaken him. He will not be clear of Tatos, I'm telling you that. Tatos P5, 2 seconds. His gap to Joaz. Joaz might need to get a move on. Oh, look at this! Jammy's down into P4, and it's now between these two. Joaz on the inside. Let's look on board with Jammy Dodger, who's lost 2 positions. He's gone from 2nd to 4th. Joaz has gone from 4th to 2nd. Can Bobby fight back? He looks a bit too far back for a fight back, maybe into turn 1. But going into the last lap, does Joaz want to be in that position? It could all happen again next lap, and Joaz could be the one to be overtaken twice. Jammy is right on the back of Bobby Lyons. So this will be interesting. Ollie is clear. He is out of it. 5 seconds is the gap. Outstanding job in the final part of the race to get clear of all the action. He couldn't quite get away from Tatos, but it was that 10-second penalty that's sort of meant Tatos isn't there. Bobby is right on the back of Joaz. Joaz doesn't stand a chance. Oh, he's not going for a move, is he? That would be silly. He isn't going for a move. That's the good option. He's waiting for the DRS, and Joaz here is at risk of being overtaken twice, like Jammy was. And Jammy will be looking for revenge. Joaz has no chance on Jammy, and look at this. They are zooming back past the McLaren, and can Jammy regain P2? Joaz is back down to P4. Jammy's on the outside. What can he do? He will not get the move done. He will stay in P3. Ollie, it was close between him and Tatos between the whole race, but in the final stint, he has just absolutely cleared himself. He wins in Las Vegas by 5.1 seconds. That gap kept changing. Bobby does take P2. Jammy takes 3rd. Tatos in P4. Jeremy 5th. Arctag 6th. Hyrox 7th. Joaz fell all the way down to 8th. That is horrible for the McLaren. Cybanix 9th. Phantom Fox rounds off the top 10. Next we have Ongak Text, Jack Teff, and RB Rob is miles. Whoa! So yeah, Ollie Hornby winning the race with some fashion at the end there. 5.1 seconds clear from the rest of the field, and I think it was that 10-second penalty for Tatos, which was the game changer, both for Ollie and Tatos. And for everyone else, really, look at Bobby. He gained, what, 15 positions in this race to go to P2 from the back of the grid. That is a respectable effort, if you ask me. Rob finally crosses the line to come home in P13. So, valiant effort from everyone, I think. But for Joaz 8th, that is nasty. And it was a silly track limit penalty as well. It was silly. Silly, silly, silly boy. There you go. That is the final classification for you. Go through. How many stops? 5 stops for Rob. Fairs. What is stopping you from doing 5 pit stops in a race? There we are. Race over. That is the Las Vegas Grand Prix done. I believe Jeremy is champion. I don't really have anything else to say. As you can probably tell, I'm just sitting here doing absolutely nothing. Next round is the penultimate round. In regards to the championship, the Drivers' Championship, I don't think it matters because Jeremy, I believe, has won it. Waiting official confirmation. You'll know this time next week. But we are here. No, we're not here. Because we're still in Las Vegas, technically. Next week, we are in Hungary, around the Hungaroring. Oh, that could be a bit of a bore fest. For that reason, you may or may not see it. No, you will see me. I'm sure you'll see me. There's no reason not to see me. I'll be there. Hopefully. Just keep your fingers crossed. And if I am there, I will see you this time next week. Au revoir.